Are you a freelancer and you want to run a website audit for your client? Or you are working in a company and you need to perform a website audit to submit as a monthly report to the client? Starting with this, I have made a list of tools which you can use to run a website audit. Like these are the basic 7 things that we will be checking in the website audit, and accordingly, we have different tools which will help us learning and checking the website credibility. So, starting with number one, SSL and HTTP enforcement. SSL is one of the major metric that define how safe and how credible the website is in terms of usage. And HTTP enforcement basically means that all the HTTP pages are ultimately redirected to the HTTPS version. So no page will be rendering over the HTTP. Instead, they will all be redirected to the HTTPS version. So for checking the SSL, we have this website, and along this whole video we will be using this website to run the audit. This is a like normal website, vehicle identity company. It's of a vehicle identity company and it is based on WordPress. So first checking with the SSL, here we are using the sslabs.com. So if I take the URL of this website and put it here, what it will do, it will run a check on this website and will see if it has the SSL installed. Although for checking the SSL, you don't really need to have a tool with you. You can actually see it from the URL itself. If it is HTTPS and there is no warning of it is not a secure site, then it has the SSL. However, you might need some other information related to it also, like what version is this, and when you are running it for a client, then like when it will be expiring, when the SSL will be expiring. So here you can see we have got the details. So on this website, we can see that it was valid from 7th June 2024, and it will be expiring within 9 months and 23 days. So this kind of detailed information it will give to you. Next thing that is there is HTTP enforcement. So though there are like HTTPS pages, but chances are there like if you have installed the SSL quite later in the time, and if you have some backlinks made with the HTTP version, so if you want to directly redirect the user in case they have ever landed to the HTTP version, so you need to like turn it on from the server side. So to check if it is HTTP enforcement is there, we can use this website. This is yeah. So we can use this website. What it will do, it will see if your website is HTTPS. So yeah, this website is there. So for checking HTTP enforcement, what we can do, we will go to this website. Then again, we have to put the link of our website. So if we put it and the captcha, then we will test this page. So it is processing the test, and once it is done, it will give us the information if it has the HTTPS enforced or not. Yeah, so we can see that force HTTP. Yeah, you can see that your web server is forcing the use of SSL. It means that even if we try to open any HTTP URL, it will automatically be shifted to the HTTPS version. So this is a good signal. Then the next thing that as doing a website audit you need is to check the version of plugins if there is a CMS, or also like if you are using any custom site which is not using any CMS, then in that case also there might be different kind of plugins which have a latest version going on. So to check that also, we have this website, this tool that basically checks the versions, and if it is a CMS, it will let us know what is the CMS other site is using. So I have put the link. So we will do the detect CMS. Yeah, so we can see that the CMS currently being used is the 6.6.1. So it is the latest version. You can check it manually, like whatever CMS is being used, and you can look out like if what is the current version, latest version. So if I type latest version of WordPress, so you will like find the official website. So here we can see like wordpress.org. So 6.6.2 is now available. So it means like already the website is using the latest version. Programming language, or also it will give you the information, databases and web server. So plugins are also being used, like what plugins are being used on their website, tables, contact form 7.5. All this information it will give. And also like in case of WordPress, what also you can do is like in the CMS there is a separate section of plugins. So going on that also you will get the insights of which plugins are auto update enabled and which are auto disabled. So that also you can add it. But like many of the cases you don't have the access to the WordPress login, so in that case you can do a website like this. Okay, so moving on to the next thing, which is UI and content. So the third and fourth point is quite related with each other. UI and content, it is not kind of thing which you can do manually, which you can do using any tool. So what you will do is that if the website has like it's an e-commerce website, then it's not really possible to check out all the different pages. But if it's a small website, like you can see, it just has like 4 to 5 pages. It's quite a business website or informational website. So in that case, you can do a manual audit of all its pages. If you click the contact forms, actually you can see, are they working properly? Are they redirecting to the right location? Or are you facing like any sort of confusion in redirecting to a particular part? Or you think that you can fix it or make it better? Then that thing you can also include. If you see that some links are not working, some links are actually redirecting to a different page, or they are not actually desired from the website owner point of view, then you can include it. And the first, that UI and content is mainly related to what is the visual of working. UX and functionality is something related that is happening on the backend side. So what you can also do is that you can run the console and you can see like if there is any error coming on any of the pages, if there is something not working. Like here you can see if there are some sliders and it's not working properly. So if I click here, see, it is like taking me to the top of the page, which I don't think is a desired behavior from the client perspective. So I can actually highlight that there are issues and it is being like redirected to the top of the page. It is not necessarily taking anywhere. So chances are there that the developer might have missed this point, that it should not redirect. Actually, the this tab is getting added to the URL, which is actually taking it to the top. So this you can inform here, like in the UI, if anything is not looking correct visually. And for the UX and functionality, any error in the console that you are seeing, and any undesired behavior redirecting to a wrong location, these you can add. The next thing is the one of the most important thing that to look in a website when you are doing an audit, that is the SEO. So SEO basically stands for the search engine optimization, and how your website is ranked on Google when a certain query is performed on the search engine like Google. So SEO is generally we cannot do it for, it is a like a mainstream part altogether. So we will not go very deep into it. But as a developer, you should know a little basic about SEO. So there are like title and description. Like there are three parts in the SEO, which is the on page, off page, and technical. The on page SEO is more related to the content of the website. What are the titles of any web page, and the description, and what is its URL, what is in the heading of it, what is the content paragraph there. And the off page is related to the backlinking activity, from which website it is getting linked from, and to which website it is linking. Like if we are using any other third party website in our website, so where we are sending our user as a backlink. And technical is basically related to the usage of robots.txt file, sitemap, structured data. So all this basically is the main part of the SEO. So we cannot check it like into very deep, but what we can do is we can use a tool like SEO site checkup. So it will run it for the home page. We can also do it like for the each page, but majorly the home page is basically the one which is the most important in a website. So we will run a audit for the home the website. It will do a sort of basic checking, and it will give us some of the things. So let's wait. Yeah, so we can see that the score is being given. Yeah, so you can see like it is giving us the 69 out of 100. You can paste the screenshot, not like, or you can also download the PDF, but like I will suggest that if you are sending it to the client, you should preferably share the screenshot only. Keep it like very basic, so because like in many cases your client might not know very technical terms. So these kind of graphs or these kinds of like colorful charts will help them understand the problems better. Like here you can see like 13 things are failed, so it will actually catch their attention, like what is failing in my website and all. So like we will see that in this tool, it will also ask you for a trial. Yeah, here you can see like what issues we can fix. Might be problems related to the performance or like JavaScript files or not size wise. Otherwise, like here you can see the title is not as per the recommended length. Also, the description is not as per the recommended length. Here is the like the preview of how it is looking on the Google. See, you can see the like the keywords are not being used correctly. So you can make it as detailed as you want. Like if there are like 3 to 4 pages, you can also run it for individual pages. And if there are like multiple pages, then it's fine if you do it for only the home page. Here you can see like this kind of screenshot you can add, like there is a caching test, it is failing, minification test, it is failing, like these are render blocking, resource test, all these things are not getting done properly, so these things you can highlight. And also one of the like the thing that is important from the perspective of SEO is the broken links. So like there are multiple tools available. You can also search for like broken link tester checker. So like yeah, here is this one website on which we can actually add our URL. Let's just take the URL once again. Yeah, if we put our website, find broken links, it will actually like you have to put the captcha that will make ensure that we are not robot. Okay, let's see. Yeah, so it's again checking. If there are a lot of pages on the website, might take very long for it to check like all the instance, but like in this case, it's just 4 to 5 pages, so it's gonna be quite easier for us to check. And also like there might be chances when like here you can see the link text is Jammu and Kashmir or HSRP status, but like maybe the chances are there that when you will go to this page, you will not find this link text anywhere. This is because the tools run it from the code perspective, not from the visual perspective. So might be there might be chances that the developer has commented out that code, so commented out, or that it has the display of hidden. So that in that case also it will be crawled from the Google, but like because it is in your code, so it is also recommended that you don't put this kind of unnecessary code into your website, because the Google might crawl, and it will like actually take your crawl time, because Google has the crawler has limited time to spend on your website. If you have like multiple links which are not actually desired from your view, so you should preferably remove those. Okay, next let's see the next metrics. So next is also like it is kind of kind of similar to SEO. It also gives some impacts to the SEO, but it's kind of something which is quite unrelated to. That is the performance. So performance is one thing that will actually carry a lot of weight in your report. So you can also move it to the three or like at the third point if it is like if you see it and it has like some major issues, it is very slow or it is not loading correctly, then you can also keep it as the third point, because it can carry a lot of weight in your the report. So for checking the performance. PageSpeed.dev.web.dev is actually made by Google. So here you can put the URL and it will analyze from the mobile as well as the desktop. So like if you can see it is failed from the mobile, though it's still running. Let's wait for it to run completely. It will show it. It will show like differently for mobile and for desktop. So let's see. Still running. Uh, this also might take a little bit of time if your website has a lot of pages. So yeah, it's done. You can see that on mobile, though other things are fine. It's not actually like here you can see the SEO is given 92, but when we run it on the different website, it was giving us some different number. So it is basically like not every website has like same kind of metrics that they use. So it's fine. Like don't need to put this one into the report because it might give like contradictory results. So you can only take this as a reference. So it's giving 41 as a performance. Here you can see, and also it will give us some like different metrics. And like if there are like if you want to know into a detail of how you can improve each one of this, I have like different videos linked in the description that you can watch, that how you can improve the LCP or FCP of your web page. It is quite detailed, so that you can check. Otherwise, yeah, you can do it like for the mobile. For desktop as it is fine, then it's not needed to actually put it on, because if you are only highlighting the mistakes, if it's a report that you are submitting and you are doing annual like maintenance of the website, then it's fine. You can actually add this. Otherwise, if you are just pointing out the mistakes, then you should not add this, because it's like giving a true like a giving a successful result. So just take the mobile ones which is giving like a negative sort of thing, and you can just let them know that you can fix these using different kinds of things. Just take this screenshot. Like I'm just taking the screenshot. You can actually like put it like from the video perspective, I'm just taking the screenshot and putting it. But when you are doing it for an actual client, you can actually write down the more details. And this point is actually related to when you are doing it for the client as a normal and like as a monthly backup. So like there might be chances when your website might broke, there is some other issue, so you should also ensure that on the CMS, or you can actually take it manually also, that you can take frequent backups of the website. So if anything is down, then you can actually like revert it to the previous working version. All right, so that is it for this video. And if you liked it, if it helped you anyway, then please like and subscribe. Thank you.